titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
What do we want to talk about?
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah. Wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We got it for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
You fucking mark! First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
What's going on, Jimmy Tops? What's going on, Top Main Vein? What's going on to the sleaze out here? Shout out to everybody. Yeet. We're going to be yeeting tonight because the Bloodline, OG Bloodline won. Yeet. Big news. So much news. There really isn't a whole lot of news. It's all the stuff we already know, but we're going to go through it. We're going to goof on some of it. I'm going to read some of your comments here, so don't forget, if you're here and you're chilling with Dr. Huge, it's time to fucking, subscribe, hit like buttons. What else? Or don't do it. Who cares? Whatever. But I'm sure you're going to love what I have in store for you tonight, starting with these boys here. The only one I really can't deal with is Sami Zayn. I will elaborate more on that later, but they won. They beat the bad guys. The bad guys are all banged up, or at least they were acting like they were banged up. CM Punk with the go to sleep poses. They're posing all night long. There's so much to talk about with this. Anybody else in the chat saying life's been good? That's good to hear. What's better than sex? War games? War games is better than sex? Michael Berry Sr., is that you? Is that who I see in that picture right there? Yeet. That's right. Yep. That means yes.
What?
That means you yeet.
Yeet!
Stone Cold. Stone Cold still with us. Bret Hart still with us. But before we even talk about this match, we got to talk about the women's match. The match that kicked off Survivor Series War Games. And guess what?
It's the shits.
It was the shits. Bret Hart is right about all these matches. When he says it's the shits, it's the shits.
It's the shits.
And I mean, I don't have to tell you why if you've seen it. And if you haven't seen it, it was ridiculous. Okay. It started out so bad. It kind of came back a little bit towards the end. But no, for the most part, it was really, really bad. And it started off to me with the Nia Jax when she started picking up weapons like the steel chair. And she went to hit Naomi and she pulled it back. Like, whoops, I don't want to do that. And then she like tapped her in the side. And then you could see people in the back during that whole match, like just tapping each other. It looks so fucking stupid.
It's the shits.
It made me cringe like horribly. And then it was just spot fest everywhere. Spot here, spot there. There a spot. I don't know the song, but you know that song. There were spots. And you could tell it was like, oh, we're going to do this now, guys. Okay, everybody get lined up and Naomi coming out in her birthday hat. That was cringe. I'm sure the kids loved it because it was cringe. The kids love the cringe.
What do we want to talk about?
Yep. We want to talk about Naomi's birthday, right? It's her birthday week. We're going to be going with that. Everybody's wishing her, like, what is she, 100 years old or something? I don't think so. They got to make such a big deal of their birthdays. Everybody. It's big. Were you expecting gifts and stuff? You know what just annoys me about a lot of this stuff in wrestling? This being one of the things. Is it like a big deal? Of course not. They're all like lovey-dovey backstage, supposedly now in the WWE. They're like, oh, we got everybody's rooting for each other. That whole shtick that they've been running with since Vince left. and they're probably really kissing her ass, an adult, over her birthday, but it stinks, and it's annoying to just people like me. It just reminded me, I DJ'd this club back in the day, and cleaning up the club. It's just a regular, club night. And I pack up my stuff, and in the middle of it, this girl is going ape shit in the dance floor. So there's like a few scragglers still hanging around, people that are like regulars that know the staff or whatever. They're talking, everybody's packing up. So they bring out this birthday cake to this girl, right? It was her birthday. These are all adults, by the way. Everybody's 21 plus. So they bring out this cake, and they're singing happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. Like this group of people on the side of the bar. I'm coming down with this stuff, and this girl comes in just going berserk because she didn't have a birthday cake, and it was her birthday too. She was in, and then she ended up with her in the bathroom and her boyfriend in there trying to calm her down, and she's just like losing her mind, like EO Sky backstage. It was like one of those situations, and it just never ended. And I'm like, this is crazy because it's over birthdays. And you're like in your 20s and 30s. There you go. You like that story? Cool story, bro. I got plenty more where that came from, guys. I know. Very adventurous. You should have seen it, because when I say freaking out, I mean freaking out. So birthdays are very important to the ladies. Happy birthday, Naomi. Don't kill me, bloodline. Right? Might be a big deal in the Uso family. They can't all be a noise, right? Let's just call they're all Usos. Even Nia Jax, apparently. Just learned that today. I thought, she's half German, I've heard, but I thought she was not an Uso. She's an Uso too. So, wow. The more you know, right? All right, what else we got? Well, I can keep going on about the women's match, I guess, because Luchasaurus finally came out. Me and the sleaze, we can't stand Rhea Ripley, as he calls her, Mommy Saurus, which I think needs to keep hashtagging Mommy Saurus, bro. It's gonna get over. That was Mommy Saurus, if I ever saw one. Totally. Do I have the mask anywhere? You got to see it. I mean, if it even takes me a minute, hold on. Broadcast audience, audio audience. I'm grabbing a clip right now. Do I have it? I don't. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Can I put it right on? How quickly can I do this? No, that's not what we want. Can I do this on the fly? That would be so nice. I think I'm gonna. We're about to do it. Mommy Saurus coming up. Look at her. Now I know, of course, the children are going to disagree with me.
If you actually think that I was just the right guy.
Get out of here, Hulk Hogan. I don't need you right now. Wrong page.
What do we want to talk about?
I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Luchasaurus, Mommy the face paint. They're over the top with it, right? And I like it because I get to talk about it and I get to goof on it because this is goofy. Is that a foam mask? It looks kind of foam. Thank God she didn't headbutt anybody with those horns, right? Look at that nose. That's a cute nose, though. Some people there's a whole market of people out here that are liking the craziest things. Michael Berry Sr., I don't know if you've noticed over the past decade, since we've even at the very beginning of the podcast, how insane everybody's gotten. So yeah, we have Mommy Saurus now. Don't kink shit. Hey, I don't know. You guys can we even call these things kinks? I think we're getting a little outrageous with the kinkiness. Everything doesn't have to be sexualized, by the way. Just saying, this is a message for the men and the women. Some wild stuff going on out here. People are posting their OnlyFans to their Facebook. By the way, people still use Facebook? Huh? I don't know. So I can't trust a lot of you guys like Tap Main Vein here. She does look like a character in DBD. Great game. I quit it years ago. Never going back. Because it just, ended up being...
It's the shits.
So Mommy Soros came out. She, Me Too, Live again. She gave her that Me Too pin that she does. Or maybe she didn't. I don't know. She probably should have. Why quit now while you're ahead? You're already doing it for the past several years. So keep giving them that old, I call it the rated R superstar pin too. He was pinning women like that, bro. That was how edgy it was back in the day. And that was the late 2000s, not even the early 2000s. I had an OnlyFans, but went bankrupt. What? Aren't you a power lifter? How did that happen? You're a broke OnlyFans guy? Man. Sorry to hear that, bro. Imagine, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine doing an OnlyFans. No judgment from me, of course. But I can't imagine doing an OnlyFans. I can't imagine being a customer of an OnlyFans. I don't get it. I guess I've aged out of that realm at least. Thank God. Because that doesn't make any sense. You're gonna pay people to look at their pictures? And you don't think that like their boyfriends and their husbands are the ones most likely messaging you guys back in text? Have you ever considered that? That Seth Rollins, you think you're talking to the man, and Seth Rollins is sitting right there like, laughing his ass off. We got another $1,000 off this mark. Because he knows, I know, everybody knows.
And I know that you like hoes.
You all like hoes. So I am not hating the player, I'm hating the game more than the player. As they say. You're not supposed to hate the player. You're supposed to hate the game. That's what I'm doing.
Because you know you like hoes.
I know you can't help yourselves. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, Rhea Ripley, get a new mask. Get out of my face. There was another match that happened. Shinsuke Nakamura got the title up against LA Knight. I kind of felt it coming on. Of course, I'm not looking into these things or trying to really predict these matches. I would like to be entertained and swerved like everybody else. But this was pretty obvious. New music, new whole entrance that he had set up for Survivor Series with the samurai mask and helmet or whatever. And just all that. You knew he was going to win. If he actually lost, imagine if he lost in that spot. How bad that would have been for just everybody. Pretty much it would have been like, all right, well, Shins is done. He's going the way of Baron Corbin, which is another fumble, by the way. How did you not figure out how to do something with Baron Corbin? And he was willing to do pretty much anything. But when he started getting into the whole burn the ships deal with, I don't know if he's a part of that band. You might as well be. I mean, your whole gimmick is like a band, bro. That was a bad idea right there. And that in Apollo Crews, I was like, oh, man, this is like a Hail Mary. They really don't have anything else. Who knows? Maybe he wasn't allowed to do anything different, but shit. I didn't hear Apollo Crews was released, but I would have released Apollo Crews before Baron Corbin. My opinion, my professional expert, analyst opinion. I'm drinking grape juice as usual, coach. You know, nothing crazy. Welch's grape every night with a T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape. And then I go in a hot tub with P. Diddy and a bunch of girls. Get it? Get it? I hope everybody's keeping up, right? I know these are some old throwback jokes that I'm trying to pull right now. So get it? Because P. Diddy, like, you know what he does. We know what he's doing now. He's in jail, I guess. He's probably in one of those prison, like a prison where they're like, they have a tennis court. Stop it. It has a whole tennis court. They can walk their dogs. They have like servants and butlers that come to the jail cell. I bet that's the type of prison. You know, one of those prisons where like they can just shut off all the cameras one night, and then P. Diddy can, you know, take care of himself with like shoelaces or a belt, even though that like none of that's allowed. Or see what I'm saying? Yeah, that would never happen, by the way. That type of stuff doesn't happen. So if you're thinking it does, P. Diddy's proof it doesn't, because he's still in jail, baby oiling dudes up, right? Or is he not? Maybe the CIA grabbed Diddy. Let's come up with a story right off the top of the dome, because I know it's true. I've been looking into it. Puff Daddy broke out, Joker style. How he's really the Joker, and now he's in like Saudi Arabia or something. Then he'll end up going to the next WWE show, take it over, become the new Vince McMahon, and then shit on everybody. The end. Tell Alex Jones. You'll believe it, because that's what happened, and is going to happen. Thank you. Everybody's clapping at home. Let me bow. Shakespearean like with these stories. My favorite gimmick was back in the day. We thought up an idea, like us, the chat. Everybody was involved in this idea. But it was mainly my idea. Let's not get it twisted, everybody, because when this TV show happens, it still can happen. Because what it is the flavor of love. What was the Bret Hart one? Bret Michaels, you know, the guy from Poison, the 80s hair band. He had his own dating show. We got to have one of those with Enzo and Kaz. Think about it. They do the same gimmick where they bring all these like stripper hoes in and these stripper rappers, and, you know, all these people that are like trying to get into the business, but they're like half stripper too at the same time. So, and they don't let them use social media. Everything is in the house, and there's only booze. Everything's booze. There's no water around. I've heard that's pretty much what the real world and all that was back in the day. Just you can't talk to the outside world for a couple months, and it's nothing but booze. Like the hot tub's filled with booze, swimming pool, the shower, like everything is like vodka, or at least, and then, you know, darker alcohols at the bar. But everything else, all the clear stuff, will be vodka. And then Enzo can, you know, court all the women. Same with Big Kaz, but really the focus will be Enzo, because it will be like funny looking, and he's the funny guy. And then Enzo gives out Jordans to his girls at the end, and Big Kaz gives out big boots, where he literally kicks all the girls into the pool that aren't staying in the house, and then gives a big old like wrestling boot to the girls that are staying every week. So Jordans and big boots. We have this all planned out, WWE, by the way. We can still do this. I know these guys are out here. Big Bill is floundering in AEW. I'm not even sure if he is, but he's floundering, in my opinion, because everybody's floundering in AEW, right? Let's just go with that. So come on. I'm trying to pitch this show. Netflix, maybe, right? You're now on Netflix. We can do this. You can't tell me that wouldn't be the biggest show in the fucking world. It would be. It would be trash TV. I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but it would be the best trash TV. Come on, WWE. Let's work together. Let's make millions with Enzo and Kaz again. Give them back their old names. No more Big Bill. No more whatever Enzo calls himself. You know, that terrible rap career, right? Remember, he had one day where it was like up there because he was trashing wrestling fans, and then it was gone again. So, nobody wants 40-year-old rappers. That's all I'm saying. I know this. You hear me rapping on my shit? No. Nobody wants to hear that. So let's do a reality show with a bunch of, stripper electricians and stripper actors and stripper rappers. Come on. It would be badass. Just saying. All right. Moving on. We told you that Shinsuke Nakamura won. Not the WWE title. He won the US title. So congratulations to you. Keep being evil. Keep cutting your stories backstage because you refuse to learn English. Still refusing. Don't hit the like button, okay? Please don't do that. Don't subscribe to the YouTube and don't fucking retweet this video. Thanks. Anyway. Gunther and Priest happened, which was actually a really good match. It was a wrestling match. He was selling the shoulder. Who knows? Maybe it was a little banged up. Maybe I don't know. Who cares? But it was a good match. It entertained the doctor. And then it led out, of course, into Finn Balor cheating, hurting Priest. He gets stomped out by Gunther. And then Priest finds Finn Balor backstage, starts to beat his ass, gets saved by the Judgment Day, and then Adam Pearce shows up, just like an action movie, every single time. As soon as the big move is done, they take a step back. Adam Pearce comes screaming, oh, wait. It's like, where were you 5 seconds ago? Every time, Adam Pearce. You tell everybody online, oh, we love each other and all this stuff. I know you're watching in the corner. I'm smart. I'm one of the smarks. You're watching in the corner, and then they kick the shit out of a guy, and they bust up all his organs and break his back, and then you walk in to make it all about you. That's really what you're doing. So I see what you're doing, Adam Pearce. At Adam Pearce somebody on Twitter, please. And don't like the video, and don't subscribe, and don't retweet it, okay? But do at him and tell him what I'm saying. Show him this video. He's wrong. All right. He needs charges pressed on him, really. He's done this too many times. A triple threat match was of the night. It was. Not only was that triple match of the night, Liv Morgan was of the night as well. You know, woman of the night, or I think they call it that, right? I think a female werewolf. But the triple threat match was good. Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, and Braun Breaker, who won. And of course he was going to win. What are they going to do? Put the belt on Ludwig? Nope. I thought there was a chance that they would put it on Sheamus. You know, he needs something. He's been losing a lot lately. Maybe that would give him a little incentive to stop being fat.
He's fat!
He's not so fat anymore. Or maybe he is. I don't know what they're saying backstage. What they think fat is. Sure, they think I'm fat. Sure, they think you're fat. So, Sheamus, you might still be fat.
He's fat!
But great match. Sheamus doesn't put on bad matches. He's going to make you earn it. You know what I mean? He's going to really, he's not going to Nia Jax the thing and go, oh, whoops. Here, take a tap to the back. He's going to punch your back or something. He's a big bully. And Braun Breaker, of course, we all know he's the next coming. He's the next big thing and all this. And who knows? He seems like a Paul Heyman guy. And I heard rumors that he could be a Paul Heyman guy in the future. And never forget, ever, that Brock Lesnar's lurking out here. Sure, there's charges on him. I don't know, maybe a defecation suit or multiple defecation suits. I don't know. Hopefully he's not hit with any of those. We can like move on from the Vinnie Mac days of sex trafficking and all this stuff. Like it's like that doesn't even fit in my brain with WWE and Vince McMahon, even though I know of the allegations. But like when I think sex trafficking, I think like the border, like in reality. But I'm supposed to think it's WWE or Diddy hiring, prostitutes and bringing them over. It's like, it's just weird. Everything's kind of weird out here these days. And I don't want any parts of it. No Diddy parties, no Vince parties. Leave me out of it, boys. No, I'm not that hard up for any of that wild stuff. But imagine if Brock Lesnar or Braun Breaker, CM Punk sticks around and they kind of assimilate a group or put a group together and then either work with the bloodline, the OG bloodline, or eventually battle them. That would be crazy stuff. There's a whole lot that they could be doing just off the men's match alone. So let's talk about it. The men's match. It was probably the best one, other than the IC match. The IC match wasn't bad, but the Priest match and Gunther match was really good, though, too. It was all real solid. Io Sky is always great, too, except for her little spots here and there. We all know it's coming. And that whole match is just garbage in general. But this men's match was storyline-wise, they can do so much with this. Going forward, they got Bronson Reed involved, who I heard got banged up the other night and is pretty injured. Might have messed up both his ankles jumping off, onto Roman in that last part. But how would you mess up your ankle? I don't even understand how that would work. But also, I'm not like 500 pounds, so I guess I wouldn't understand. Jimmy Uso broke a toe, which is never good. Break one toe and you're going to be all over the place. And he was limping on out of there, so I assumed there was something wrong with him. And there is. Because I'm a doctor, and I looked into it. I saw his x-rays, and I said, uh-oh, you have a broken phalange of the foot, and you're out as long as I want you to be. So whenever he comes back, I'll let you know. We keep those things under wraps. They don't send where they used WWE send their wrestlers when they got hurt. They don't send them there anymore. They send them right here in this room. I put them right here on the couch, and I just crack it all back into place, just like Kane did when he stomped his leg. And when he got lucky, he managed to stomp a broken fibula and tibula back into place, without my help. But I'll do that right here in like 30 minutes. So. No insurance needed, by the way. Just straight cash. My favorite nutrient, cash. Yeah, the men's fight. CM Punk, of course, not getting along with Roman Reigns. Ooh, are they going to actually do... I knew what was going to happen anyway. I'm sure all you little kids didn't know what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen because I've been watching this forever. They were going to, slight each other at every chance while they're in the little cage together. They're not going to really trust each other the whole time. And then at the very end of the match, they're going to shake hands, hug, whatever. Dry hump. They could have done that. I thought that was going to happen because I'm an expert. Is Bronson Reed the new Yokozuna? Well, he's not that big yet. Yokozuna had titles, bro. So he's the poor man's Yokozuna at this point. if he is a Yokozuna. And I would say the perfect Yokozuna would be a Samoan wrestler pretending to be Japanese again. That's a perfect Yokozuna. So he's not even close to that. He's barely an Uso. He's not even from the same island as the Usos. And he's in the bloodline too, because he looks the same. And that's what I've always been saying they need to do with these groups. And guess what? Over the years, they've been doing it. Y2 Just Incredible without the E used to laugh at me all the time and goes, basically, you want all the ethnicities to stick together. And I'm like, yeah. In general, of course, you can have an Uso group or bloodline group with Sami Zayn, just like back in the day with the Nation of Domination and Owen Hart. You can still have random people in these groups. It's just, generally speaking, you will have a Damage Control. You'll have of Asians. You'll have your blonde group. They always put with like Natty and a blonde, or you know what I mean. All the lesbos together in that fight crew that they do the little points. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's good shit. Okay, where's my good shits?
He's fat.
Nope.
It's such good shit.
That's what's good shit, bro. The New Day came together. Do you notice something on this shirt? Do they look like me or white people? All in one group. Do they look like the Four Horsemen? Nope. It's 3 black dudes in one group. The Hurt Business, now Hurt Syndicate. I can go on and on and on, boys. You know what I mean. You see what's going on. You think they just put Bianca and Jade together just because, right? Careful on the Nia Jax stuff. Bully Ray will threaten you on the internet. Why would he threaten me on the internet about Nia Jax? Because she's half German, half Samoan, half Uso? He's no Uso. What's he to say? He's from Dudleyville. He's a Dudley. And everybody I'm from Dudleyville sometimes. So need some more tape on my glasses though. So the match overall, right? War Games overall, entertaining. Didn't mind it one bit. But was I blown away? Very little blows me away. There were some pay-per-views this year, Bad Blood being one of them off the top of my head. Very good pay-per-views. Good job. Keep it going. Non-sarcastic. WWE's doing it. Netflix is coming soon. Hopefully they're going to get much edgier on there. They're going to get more celebrities. They're going to go all out. Just like Triple H is talking about the Jake Paul Tyson fight, and the Tom Brady roast, as we know, got big ratings hit on there. So that's what you need to do, WWE. Start incorporating some more like real hardcore entertainment. And another thing, please no more of these press conferences unless they're in character. Cody and Jey Uso, I want to say, God, maybe earlier this year, they had one of the greatest press conferences of all time because they acted as if they were still in the ring as Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. That's how it works. If you go backstage like Chris Jericho does over at AEW and you start kissing your own ass and licking your own balls and dick riding your own penis, it sucks. Because it's like, oh, yes, all that fake stuff we just did, that performance and the story. And you know who does that more than anybody, it seems like, in the WWE is Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn can't wait to talk about, oh, man, I can't wait to just, like, ride in a car with the Usos again and be with the family and do this and all this real, actual stuff. I don't want real stuff. I'm not watching WWE care about your families in all your off-screen boring ass lives. I want you to come out there and talk about how everything that we just saw was real. And not only that, make it cohesive and build a storyline off of it still. That's one of the worst things ever. Coming out there and then just telling everybody it's all fake. Essentially, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And Sami Zayn can't seem to shut up ever. From what I've noticed. And I've heard this from Jim Cornette as well. Of course, he doesn't really care for Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I'm sure he likes them as wrestlers and things, but like he was annoyed by them when he worked with them. But it's specifically Sami Zayn because he didn't shut the fuck up. He's like, blah, 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 blah. And that's what it seemed like at the press conference, too. He's sitting in the middle of the Usos. Okay. And then CM Punk comes out when he gets asked a question at first. And CM Punk made a noise or something through the microphone because things need to be about him, too. Right. And then he's just like, oh, where's my muffins and where's my cakes after every match? Like, calm down, CM Punk. You'll get your food. Like, you couldn't eat leading up to the match. You couldn't. Is this a whole like thing? I don't understand that. But, you know, it's not like you're not going to eat. Jericho can wait even, you know, and we all know Jericho.
He's fat!
He can't wait to get to Outback Steakhouse and he'll lose his fucking title rushing off to go eat. So CM Punk, cut it out. Be more about the press conference than eating your cakes and shit. It's fucking lame. So anyway, he cuts Sami Zayn off. Sami Zayn kind of, you can tell he's miffed by it. But then it continues to go blah, 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 stories, blah, 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 all that's fake, blah, blah, blah. This is, that, you know, everything you saw was a waste of your time. And I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. So I shut it off. I just had it. And I probably won't watch any more press conferences until you guys get your act together. Triple H, again, somebody clip this, send this to Triple H. He needs to hear this. Stop. You can act like this isn't real, okay? Because you're not out there body slamming people right now. You're not doing bodily harm, supposedly, to these people out here. So you can be like, we made this much money. Yes, you know, your name's on the fucking credits. Like, we get it. Okay. I'm not saying I don't get it. I get it. But can we entertain us more instead of just going, yeah, all that's fake? That's all I'm asking for. I don't think I'm asking for much. Triple H. He used to work with children. Yep. But this is a problem with, like I said, Jericho bothers me the most with this kind of stuff. He's always on AEW press conferences, at least from what I've seen, and just goes, yup, I'm the man because I wrote this story, and then this happened because of me, and I'm just like, talk about it on your podcast, bro. Not in a press conference. You're all sweaty. You're shirtless. You got this title belt in front of you sometimes. And then you go, yeah, all this. You like that? No, I don't like that. You know, do we want boxing to start doing that too? Because they could at this point. Tyson could come out in the press conference and go, oh, yep, I didn't try at all. Didn't try to hurt him one bit. We just wanted your money. Thank you. Cut it out. So, PLE press conferences are the shits.
It's the shits.
And what else is happening? I had a thought last night, you know, a morbid thought, as people are bringing up the Hagrums right now. Hagrum, what if Dr. Huge just died? What would happen? Well, what I want to happen, and I'm telling everybody this now just in case, I want to be dressed head to toe in Yeet gear. Nothing but Yeet stuff.
Yeet!
The same outfit that Jimmy or Jey Uso came out in last night, where it was just all red. Or was it the SmackDown? Either way, all red, Yeet here, Yeet pants, Yeet sneakers. I want Yeet underwear. I want
Yeet!
Yeet toe rings. every single toe, every single finger, necklace, sunglasses, of course, the sunglasses that they sell. When merch table Jey Uso is now in your city. Yeet it out. I'll have my hair grown out at that point, right? Just the sides. And then a hair artist can put yeet in my head. Everything, all yeeted out. What do you think? I think that would be fun.
Yeet!
And then
Rest in yeet!
rest in yeet. That's what we'll be doing. Nice cloning device. And then, you know what? And then I won't even have to do all that. I'll make the clone will be all yeeted out. Yeet. Earrings. Is there anything else here? Did I write anything? I don't want to forget. What else is yeet here? Underwear, toe rings, tattoos. Yeet. Can't forget the tattoos. Socks, obviously. Yeet. And yeet casket. Yeet. That's what I want. I want a whole yeet casket, just like the Kiss casket. WWE will probably be selling that at some point. They'll break it out during like a Black Friday next year. Have Jey Uso on top of it. Go, you can get a yeet casket. Yeet. Yeet earns.
No yeet.
What? No, you don't. They don't want that. They just want the casket, right? You put the beers in it. They like use it as a cooler, just like the Kiss casket. Maybe a yeet toilet that you put coins in. Like every time somebody has to use it. So you put a yeet toilet in your house and people have to pay you if they come over to use it. Yeet! 25 cents per use. I think that's a pretty good deal. Oh, I think so. All right. So I'm serious about that, by the way. And next up in my notes, a longtime fan of Dr. Huge, Eric Bischoff, Eazy-E himself. Loves Dr. Huge, loves DrHUGeShow. He likes and subscribes. He's also donated before. Can you believe that? 83 weeks. That's right. The Eric Bischoff is going to be on one of my favorite shows. Not Raw, not SmackDown, definitely not AEW. NXT. The land of the hot chicks.
And I know that you like hoes.
No, I do. And that's where they are. And that's also where Eric Bischoff is going to be. So get ready, Eric Bischoff, because there's some fly 304s over there.
Because you know you like hoes.
That's right. I don't know what he's going to be doing, though. I think he probably is going to have some tournament or the pay-per-view is coming up. So we got a go-home show tomorrow night. Either way, tune in for your boy, Eazy-E. And you got to come on the show at some point, Eric. If not, I'm going to come find you. That's not a threat. YouTube TOS. It's a promise. Love him. One thing I don't love about Eric Bischoff is his choice for co-hosts. And I know this is going to upset a lot of people in here, especially the Barry Sr. I think he loves him some Conrad. And no disrespect, okay, Conrad? You're kind of just out here and I hear your voice and I don't like it. It's too herpy-derpy. Like I always say this to myself when I'm listening to 83 Weeks or a clip or whatever, and I hear Bischoff speaking, and then I hear herpy-derpy, and I'm like, fucking shut up. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that accent. I don't like the way you're talking to me, Conrad, the way you've been talking to everybody for all these years, and everybody's just dealing with it and acting like it's normal. It's not normal to me. I've been out living in the East Coast for a very long time, and herpy-derpy talk is really weird, and it's off-putting. The same is like Club Shay Shay. The Club Shay Shay talk, Shannon Sharp. He just goes, ski up, beepy. He's a beepy boopy guy. I don't like that either. That's beeping the boopity boppity boopy skip. Skipping the beepity boopity bop. And it's like, stop talking like that, dude. So disrespectful to like people of color when you talk like that. Just saying. Cut it out, Shannon Sharp, and cut it out, Conrad. It's the same deal. You're embarrassing a whole lot of people out here. Me again. Everybody's embarrassing me out here. Doesn't even matter what color they are. They're embarrassing me. Yep. But when Conrad comes on there with that slow Southern, is it draw or draw? Drawl. I don't even know. Because it sounds like when people go Southern drawl. Drawl? Or is it draw? Either way.
It's the shits.
It's the shits. So cut it out. We don't want that in podcasting at all. And I think that's the problem with Shannon Sharp, too. That's like a Southern thing. The beeper, the pooper, the beeper. Good Lord. Sound like an extra in Django when you talk like this. It's fucking insane. Beepity boopity. Skip. These national media people, not Conrad so much, but the sports people, aren't they the worst?
It's the shits.
They're the worst. Like Stephen A. doesn't know anything, it seems like. I've heard Stephen A., who's the top guy at the top sports network on cable. He says, I've seen him go, this is in football, right? Why didn't the team kick the field goal on third down? And if they missed it, they would just kick it again on fourth down. That was stupid of them. And I was like, oh my God, he said that on TV. So, and then he's a basketball expert and then proceeds to pick the wrong championship winner like 7 or 8 years. It mutes me. I figured out how to get rid of it, but like I was just muted there. How amazing was that? Why does it do that? Anyway, back to my chat. Now I don't even know what I'm talking about. Damn you, these damn streams, bro. We got it fixed anyway. So we talked about our old boy Bischoff. That's really what we wanted to talk about. And then like where's my sample? Just like this.
What do we want to talk about?
Easy. Now the Netflix Raw is coming soon. We did touch on this a little bit, but I'm just telling you, if they're going to come out and just be PG on Netflix, what's the purpose of keeping it?
It's the shits.
You know, I've been paying for Peacock for a while. Are they going to put the PLEs on Netflix? If they do that, then it makes all the sense in the world to just keep Netflix. So I'm just going to assume they're doing that because that's good business. But to buy Monday Night Raw by itself, that would be a hard sell for, I would think, anybody. I would, obviously, I have it already anyway, but I don't, give us the PLEs with it. And what else we got here? Oh, yeah, don't like this video. Apparently, people don't like to be told to like it. Don't like it. Don't subscribe. Don't retweet this. Whatever you do, guys, don't do that. Because, you know, I'm not here to try to get build this up again. And I might have to start a new channel on YouTube anyway, because from what I've heard, having an old channel that has as many subscribers as this one does at this moment is the shit.
It's the shits.
And it's just not going to grow because of the way the algorithms are and yada, yada, yada. I'll let Sami Zayn explain it to you later. Okay. So we need the likes basically, and we need all the subs, and we need everything. And keep an eye out for the new channel because like I said, I'm going to have to get a new one. And it's a good little lesson for everybody else out there. If you're doing any type of YouTube thing or whatever, even with Twitter's like my there are people out there with like 100 followers that get so much more out of their X experience than Dr. Huge. And I think that's just wild. It's not That's good. Just because it's an older account, like I have to make a new one. So think about it, Elon, and whoever's running the YouTubes. Who do you guys want to see on the show? I could get wrestlers again, I guess, and start asking around. It's annoying, though. I don't know why it irks me so much. There are a lot of cool people, though. I'll shout out to Lexus King, Pillman's son. I asked him to come on one time. He said, well, at this point, I need to start making money from this. So he gave me a few, whatever. I never ended up having him on, but I could have. And it's good to always have that in my back pocket. Like if I need a guest or whatever, I could just always, whatever, give him some cash through Venmo, whatever, and then he just, comes on the show for however long. And I respect that. That's fine. But then you got like these other guys. You remember Hannibal out here? Is he even still out here? Probably, the wrestler / podcast guy. So I'm talking with Kevin Sullivan because I used to have him on all the time. The old wrestling legend who just passed away recently. So R.I.P. to you, bro.
Rest.
Got to do it properly. So he's like, yeah, I had a good interview with him. He's cool. I know of him. So I went and messaged Hannibal and was like, hey, you want to come on the show? Let's do a thing or whatever. And all I got back was how many viewers you got or how many followers or this and that. And I was just like, I'm not dealing with this because I'm not dealing with the, there was a word for it. The kids had a phrase for this type of behavior, but it's slipping me now. But it's basically, that you can't, even if you don't have to go on podcasts forever. You could go on for 15 minutes. And what a turnoff to be like, so I need to meet your threshold of like what you think is good or enough for you to do something. So fuck off. Go do your own thing then, bro. I can do my own thing all day, all night. And most of the bookings I've ever had came from people in the chat hitting me up and just being like, hey, you should either get this person or I got this person for you if you want it. Right. And that's cool. I would much rather that than me go out of my way, because it seems like every time I do, I tend to get the Hannibal Wright reaction more than the Pillman Lexus King reaction. Another example, Ward Stance, War Face, whatever his name was. He was out there in the indie scene. And Sasha Reigns, you guys remember Sasha Reigns, don't you? She was like, hey, Dr. Huge, sending me a message. This war ass guy is out here and I think he's cool and you should have him on and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right. I really haven't heard much about it, but okay, it seems interesting. So I sent him a thing in public, like, hey, give me a follow back and I'll be able to message. So he follows me back and I'm like, hey, I heard people would like to have you on the podcast or whatever. If you'd like to come on, he blocks me. I'm not even kidding. Like, he reads the message and blocks me. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this is an indie wrestler that I barely even know about. People are like, hey, you should push this guy and help, like, have him come on and talk to the people or whatever. And he just totally fucking disrespected me. So I was like, wow, I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk to you fucking idiots. Because apparently you're all very, very important, So there's my story with that. I got plenty of other notes here that I'm going to save for tomorrow night, because I'll be back tomorrow night. I'm going to have Reezy on one of these days. Shout out to young Reezy. And again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow this everywhere, or don't. Please don't, right? But let's get into Raw tonight before it comes on. New Day, 10-year celebration right here, everybody. You know what's going on. They're about to break up. It looks like Big E is probably going to be back on screen, because why wouldn't they have him come out? It's not like he's like deceased or anything. So come on out, Big E, from doing your pre-shows. And who knows what's going to happen? How great would it be if Big E makes a return to wrestling tonight? Because you know how these things go. Daniel Bryan wasn't supposed to come back. Edge wasn't supposed to come back. They all had neck issues. He's got a neck issue. Maybe. I'm leaning Kofi's just going to kick the shit out of Xavier Woods, and they're kind of going to swerve people that way, maybe, and make it more of a Kofi issue. But then again, it could be. It's been leading up to be Xavier Woods to be the bad guy. Man, it should be entertaining. So good. But that's not going to start the show. CM Punk is going to start the show. Half hour commercial free. That's how they're selling it. So he's going to come out tonight. Who knows if he's going to give up anything. They usually don't this early on, but it would be nice. There's a lot going on with the Bloodline. The Bloodline 2. The Rock being involved with the Bloodline 2, I believe. CM Punk now, the Heyman guys. Heyman's almost got his own little clique going on now that he's like moving all these strings. There's a lot there, so a lot to look forward to anyway. Then we got Damage Control versus the new Judgment Day in a tag team. And of course, I love Io Sky. She's the best. Baszler, Katana, Dakota Kai, Intercontinental Triple Threat tournament that they're doing the same thing with the U.S. title, I believe. All smart. Well, I like all this. Makes sense. Then we got R-Truth and Pete Dunne, which just seems like a random match to get them on the screen. I wonder if Final Testament or whatever that will get them involved. Pete Dunne, he's kind of in limbo right now. R-Truth, of course, no more Miz and all that. And like I said, with Final Testicle going up against Wyatt Six, they'll probably bring up something with that tonight, since the Final Testicle has been being harassed now by the Wyatt Six. Two creep groups. They deserve each other. Keep it up because I like it. And I think that's about it. I had other things on the agenda tonight that we could have talked about. A whole bunch of AEW while we looked at this guy with all the noodles in his head. You know, more of this guy here, The Rock, and his involvement with the Bloodlines, because he's definitely involved with both of them. Don't forget. But also don't forget to subscribe to this fucking video. Retweet it if you're on Twitter. Send it out to everybody. Tell everybody Dr. Huge is back. We're reuniting and we're feeling really good. Okay? Everybody have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 7 p.m.
The way a question works,
no one's talking. Hey,
when
so
you
my
ask a
favorite
question, yes, he wants it answered.
Zip it.
He doesn't care if it's fair or not. Who's going to win the Royal Rumble? So your choice.
So I'm still avoiding your
pick.
Yes,
you really are. Who are you picking to win the Royal Rumble?
So who do I think is going to win?
That's what I just asked. If you repeat the question, you're not answering it. That's just like you're stalling for time. You're trying to kill her clock. So it's called a filibuster.
There's not
a name.
There's nine.
Leave her alone.
Here, write something down. Do you see what you wrote there? You said, Alundra Blaze, don't screw up.
I mean, here's my advice to you. This is the worst answer I've ever heard.
But I can't do that because
WrestleMania is going to come around before you pick a winner for the Royal Rumble. Seriously, you've got to give us an answer. You have to. That's not an answer. Answer. What do you mean so anyway? Go back to the question. Okay. You ever watch like the Super Bowl preview show that it said, who do you think is going to win? And they don't filibuster until the All-Pro game. Would you please answer the question? Who's going to win the Royal Rumble?
So you know what I'd like to see,
No,
though?
I'd like to see an answer to the question.
So
you're picking Nia Jax. You're picking Nia Jax.
I didn't say that.
You picked
I said
Nia
I'm really...
You have it. Alundra Blaze, Hall of Famer, pick Nia Jax. That's big.
Say my name correctly.
Well,
That's not an answer.
Hey guys, this is Thunder Rosa, and you're listening to DrHUGEshow.
Yes. Is everybody hearing me? We got to just do a test every single time.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
If there's any issues, just let me know. There shouldn't be too many. I think we got this figured out by now. We're good now. Cool. Welcome to the Dr. Huge Show. I'm Dr. Hugenstein, the originator of street podcasts for wrestling and comedy and anything else you want. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody about this. We're back. We're putting podcasts back in audio form. So if you were one of those iTunes people out there from back in the day, shout out to you guys. I couldn't believe the numbers when I was looking at them. I'm like, wow, somebody was listening to these shows, I guess at the time, but me and my tech savviness, I'm not the greatest. I can control this a little bit, but if you guys aren't sharing and shit, then, what am I doing here? Why are you watching? So, and of course, if you come in the chat, you may get a message on the screen. That's how that works now. That's amazing. Anyway, what has happened lately, huh? What's the big news? You know what the big news is. All you smart, really smart Dr. Huge viewers. It's the New Day, of course. The New Day had their 10th anniversary last night. And if you haven't heard, they kind of broke up, but they didn't break up. What's going on with you, Jeffrey Cross? I hope you've been at least checking out some wrestling as of late, because lately it's been really good. I know you're one of those wishy-washy people like most wrestling fans, but like the casuals really need to get it going again. Because maybe I don't think they know for certain that the WWE is like putting out good content. And I hate the word content even in this day and age is the total shits.
It's the shits.
So forget I even said that. But yeah, I mean, WWE's doing it. Is it still PG? Yes. We're going to be talking about that a little bit coming up. I got plenty of notes. I'm not going to run out of anything to talk about, really, with everything that's been going on. But back to the New Day. Big E comes out, meets up with Xavier, Kofi Kingston in the ring, Mr. Flapjack Chest. That chest is damn near caved in at this point, bro. Like you got the Chris Jericho, got the Big Papa Pump chest thing going on. I'm not hating. Just pointing out the obvious. It's kind of my job. So Kofi Kingston's out there. Receding hairline, Xavier Woods. I wouldn't know nothing about that, but, I decided to cut mine before I had the Stephen A., the Xavier A. Smith hairdo. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you guys do. Especially all you young kids know nothing about this. You know nothing about not being able to grow hair here or there or there. Hashtag bald pride. It's out there. No. I don't watch AEW. I watch WWE. There you go, Jeffrey Cross. It's like most people, I would say. That's kind of like me. I am watching AEW lately, though, and trying to keep up with it. Is it as easy to watch for Dr. Huge? Not really. I always, my attention gets taken away a lot more. Not like it doesn't with WWE or all this pro wrestling that is out here. There's so much of it. There's so many wrestling podcasts and everything. It's like, what the fuck at this point? Like, pretty sooner or later, there's going to be more wrestling podcast hosts than there are human beings on the planet. They're taking over like a zombie apocalypse. Anyway, again, back to the New Day. I keep getting off track. That this New Day thing was so good. Monday Night Raw was so good. So you need to be tuned. Last night was it, man. That was the shiznit. Not the shits, the shiznit. So Kofi and Xavier are out there. Big E comes out. And this would have worked too for me, believe it or not. Before the swerve, he's like, hey, I'm going to be your manager, Kofi and Xavier, because you guys aren't getting along. And, it'll give me something to do now. With I also have a Stephen A. haircut, so it would work with this group. And Kofi Kingston was like, yeah, we know you broke your neck. And who cares? Nobody cares. That was so long ago, bro, when you broke your neck. when Ridge Holland, who just ended Chase U, that was super over in NXT, ends it, just finishes all of the whole college on the campus of Full Sail. And before that, people forget, he fucking spiked Big E on his head with the move I tell everybody not to use, the over the head belly to belly, the worst move.
It's the shits
in pro wrestling today. Doesn't look all that great to me. Sure, it's a wrestling move. You're throwing a guy over your head, literally throwing him backwards over your head while you're falling backwards. Then their head is like this close to the ring. Just about every time. But this one just boom, right in your neck. Because it happens. And yep. Told you so. Stop it. I've been saying that for years. Yep. Shout out to Big E. See, I tried to tell him. And outside the ring, you're going to do that, a belly to belly over the head outside the ring. I think we're all over that now, right? We're good with that. But what else happened with this New Day thing? You saw he pushed him Big E away after he tried to become their manager. You know, he's the shits. He's hasn't been around. His neck sucks. All that stuff. They basically said everything. It's funny that the one thing that brought Kofi and Xavier back together was the fact that Big E wasn't around. Like, they're rallying around that. So that's pretty funny to me. The whole segment, I was just laughing through the whole thing. I got swerved so bad with the manager thing. I thought for sure that would have been cool, right? Everybody seemed to be on board with it. And then they were like, no, Biggie, you suck. We hate you now and we're heels. And it's like, wow, I like it. Good job. Because it actually makes two guys that are still working, apparently. Biggie's still injured. His contract's coming up, I've heard, or is already up. They may just re-sign him as a pre-show guy or whatever the case is. But I'm pretty sure his wrestling career is done. He's said it multiple times in the past, however long he's been out. So get better, Big E. Of course, everybody would like to see him back, but, you know, I'm not a real doctor, right? Or else I would fix him up. So, yeah, everybody forgets, too. The New Day started out as heels. That's why I liked them up front. I was a big New Day guy when they started forming this thing. I want to say it was 2014, of course, but they were bad. And if you remember, they attacked John Cena one night, and that's what got like nuclear heat from this guy anyway. I loved three black guys basically jumping John Cena. That was pretty cool. And hello to you, Joey. Shout out to Joey. Joey in the house. So, yeah, New Day is heels again. Oh, man. That's going to be some good stuff, bro. Keep it up. I'm loving it. And they handled that whole situation so well. The whole lead up to it. The long-term storytelling. I see people online complaining about this. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop complaining about long-term stories. Because I don't know. I've been paying attention well over a decade at this point. And well before that, but I mean, I've been doing this type of shit and really like using my analytic skills on it. And I'm telling you, you don't want to go back to the Vinnie Mac, you know, not being able to tell. And he would stop a story right in the middle of it. There would be something brewing. There would be like Dolph Ziggler going up against somebody. I know Dolph Ziggler for certain was one of those. And they had a whole storyline. They ran it for 2-3 weeks. And then it was just gone. Really? Do you want that again? So let's get back. You know, Xavier Woods has kind of been a pain in the ass for a while now. Several months. Kofi Kingston finally started getting mean when Xavier started like pushing him around. This is great. More of this. Just like when Punk came out last night. Last night was perfect. That's how every Raw should be, really. even in the middle when you think like you can't build up to something, or we've done this too many times or whatever, you should be able to do this creatively. It should. I've heard people say, writers on WWE Raw, be like, this show is too hard to write, especially at 3 hours. Well, guess what? It's 2 hours now. Should be way easier to write, especially when you're lifting a lot of my ideas like you did in the past. And I'm sure you guys are happy as fuck to have me back again with all the WWE writers that are following Dr. Huge on Twitter like the rest of you should be doing. The kids call it X now, but I still call it Twitter because the bird. X is a letter. How do you brand a letter? He's gonna do it though. So at DrHUGeShow on X. I'm learning. But Punk and Rollins, Punk comes out, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Right? Rollins comes out, interrupts him in a poop-colored sequin suit. Feces colored and white, like how they look like cowboy boots, like Roy Orbison boots for the older people in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Them goofy, the Austin Powers goofy halfway boots, like they're like up past the ankle, but then it still has the point and has a buckle on the side. Them weird ass boots from the 70s. So he's dressed like this to now confront CM Punk. And he goes in there and he actually does pick a fight in a poop-colored suit and mid-white cowboy boots things. Roy Orbison. Let's just call him Roy Orbisons. And I thought it was cool. I thought it made sense, as everything should. It's a pretty simplistic show, especially if you're like, hey, this is PG, right? So it should be simple as hell. And Rollins doesn't like CM Punk. It doesn't matter what CM Punk's been doing. Doesn't matter that the bloodline like him and all this stuff. They're making it all make sense. There's other guys involved now. Now Sami Zayn gets involved because they're fighting. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn come out to break up the little squabble. And then Seth Rollins is like, Jey Uso, you're this and you're that or whatever. Sami Zayn sticks up for him, starts white knighting for all the Usos because he's the honorary Us. And you know me, I can't stand Sami Zayn. Get out of my life, Sami Zayn.
Yeah, go take another hairbrush in your ass.
That's right. So take that, Sami Zayn. Get back there. Go comb your fro. And I want him and Kevin Owens to be on AEW. And I'm always right about these things. They're AEW guys. They would probably make AEW a little better. Who knows? Like, all their WWE knowledge. But to me, they're AEW guys. Just like when I used to say Finn Balor needs to go back to NXT, well before they were sending anybody back to NXT. He went up against Brock Lesnar one night, and then he's back at NXT. Because they seen him go up against Brock Lesnar, and they were like, dude, really? We're going to keep this going? We can't do that. Like, the charisma vacuum. I'm not saying he's like this now. Finn Balor's totally over now. He's kicking ass, great bad guy. I'm liking everything he's doing. He should be in the spot that he's in, and maybe even better. Put the belt on him at some point. He is your working man's champ, in this area. He can be one of those guys. But back in the day, Jimmy Tops, shout out to you. He needed to go back to NXT and just build himself up again, because nobody was believing that he was going to kick the ass of anybody, because he looked like 180 pounds and looked like nothing, a bunch of nothing, a little ball of muscle, and nobody's really afraid of that. The demon gimmick, they got away from it. All right, the Judgment Day gimmick, much better. Just like most of everything these days in WWE. Sorry to kiss their ass. You know me, I'm hypercritical. There's hardly anything to make fun of with the WWE anymore, so I'm doing my best here. What can you say other than that's good? See what I mean? So, is it me, or did Finn look like a 90s skater in those baggy clothing? Well, it's kind of probably, I never thought about it, so it's just you, Jimmy Tops. Sorry. I wish I could pile on with that, but give him baggy pants. He needs to look big somewhere, right? Come on. And then all the stomps that he was doing the Gunther. We'll get into that, but right now we're still talking about sequin, poop-colored Rollins suit and the white Orbison boots. Still. So they're fighting. Jey Uso comes in. Jey Uso gets ragged on by Seth Rollins. Sami Zayn white knights for him. Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins must have a wrestling match now. See how that goes? And then boom, you get the wrestling match right at the end, which I love. Because that's how they've been doing this since the dawn of man. Is that you get all these little builds and a story, and when you do a good wrestling show anyway. And then it's like, and I'm going to wrestle you tonight because of this. Makes sense. So, cool. They had their match. There was no winner, right? I think it got interrupted because Jey Uso was attacked backstage in the middle of Raw. And everybody's like, oh my God. And everybody wants to blame Seth freaking Rollins because Seth freaking Rollins is a scumbag. Always will be. Always was. He's the scumbag that was, is, and will ever be, like the Bret Hart thing, right? Maybe he can.
It's the shits.
I'm sure he can do it better than that. So, Seth Rollins probably beat Sami Zayn. That's how I would do it, but I wasn't paying attention towards it. It was towards the end of the night. And 2 hours is enough. 3 hours was definitely way too long. So, thank God for that. Because I can kind of keep up now. You know, when there's 30 hours of pro wrestling on TV and you're watching a lot of it, it all like turns into one thing. So Seth Rollins was vindicated because he didn't attack Jey Uso backstage. That was Drew McIntyre, who came out and kicked Sami Zayn in the head, which again I loved because you know the type of ish I'm on.
And I have half the brain that you do.
What? Oh, well, wrong page. It doesn't matter anyway. So what else happened last night? Oh, let's read the chat for a moment. Jimmy Tops is in the house, folks. He's got a lot to say, which I like. Everybody talk in the chat. Everybody like, share, subscribe, and put this all over the universe because, you know, these platforms aren't going to do it for me. So I need you guys to do it. Thank you in advance. Is it me? No, we read that one. Rollins won with a roll-up clean in the ring. That's right. That is what happened. I was literally making a frozen pizza in the middle of that. I like Scumbag Rollins. Who doesn't? Scumbag Rollins, bad guy Kevin Owens are some of the best. And see, it's not that I just want Kevin Owens to go to AEW because I'm like, oh, F Kevin Owens, get him out of here. I don't want him around anymore. That's not it at all. He has his place in wrestling, just not on my TV screen because he's annoying, especially even if he's a bad guy. When he's a good guy, he totally sucks. Just like good guy Seth Rollins. He's terrible too. Nobody wants a good guy Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens. It's unbelievable. I'm trying to suspend my disbelief for a whole lot of things watching this show. And a few of those things are guys that look like scumbags, sound like scumbags, do scumbag things. And then you want me to think that they're a good guy? It's just, no. So even the way Rollins is with CM Punk right now, there really is no bad guy. They're both kind of tweener good guys. More leaning good, of course. But they can go, I'm loving the way a lot of this is going with the wrestling. Because you don't have to have straight bad guy, good guy goofiness. Of course you need it and you should have it, but you know, it's not absolutely necessary. So there's that. Drew McIntyre back is just awesome too. He's got chest hair. Like how many wrestlers have chest hair and act like real men out there, Jimmy Tops? Not a whole lot these days. Raquel and Liv Morgan over the Judgment Day, who are not getting along with Finn Balor at this moment. Finn Balor is really pushing to get this championship, but they took on Damage Control, which I love you, Io Sky. I'm going to send you love letters if I ever know where any arena you're going to be at. Expect a letter from Dr. Huge and some roses. Just like Jacob Fat 3 when he comes out and screams, I love you, Solo. My gimmicks, I love you, Io. See where this is going, folks? She's the genius of the splits. Genius. Just like me, a genius of the pro wrestling talk. Two geniuses together. How could you beat us? Think about it, Io Sky. Stop jumping on Rhea Ripley. She Me Too's way too many of the girls back there. I don't like it. I'm watching. I don't like it. Cut it out, Rhea Ripley. She's mine. All right. Thank you. So, Damage Control takes on Raquel and Liv, get beat up, get attacked after the match. And then Rhea Ripley comes out, or as the sleaze calls her, Mommy Saurus with the mask. Lucha Mommy, maybe. That would be a good one. What else can we call her? Luchasaurus. That's all I got. So we got those three names right now. We're trying to build on it. So yeah, that happened. It was something. It kept Raw going, so that was good. What else happened? Gunther. He had his match. He's kind of turning into a Weasley heel at the moment. We talked about it with Sleaze a few days ago, and neither one of us like him being weak. I guess every heel at one point in their career is going to have to act like that. Nobody's going to top Seth Rollins' 2015 Weasel. Like when he was holding the championship belt and the U.S. title, a bunch of people were injured, and he literally carried that show by himself, start to finish. He had the whole security and all that. But we don't need Gunther for that. That's not what Gunther does. So if you're going to go the whole chicken shit route, as Teddy Long wants, I don't know if you've heard, Teddy Long was on the Undertaker podcast, and he loves himself some Gunther. Undertaker loves Gunther. And I think the actual quote from the Undertaker was, where is it here? Where is it in these notes? Maybe it's the next page. Holy shit, I wrote a lot of notes because I'm like still reading here. Either way, he's basically like, don't screw my guy up. That's his guy? Wow. So he's super mega over with everybody. If the Undertaker likes you, he doesn't even want you to rest in peace. Loves Gunther that much. So don't mess him up, WWE. And I'm telling you, you can if you make him too big of a weasel. Unbelievable. We want believable, and we want to make sense, and we want you to be edgier. Those three things. You got the stories down. You got the right guys and gals in the business at the moment. You're always, managing the roster correctly. That wasn't really the main issue anyway. There's so much wrestling talent out there these days, but you got to have those three things going for you. And you can't mess up Gunther like you did Baron Corbin. Not saying Baron Corbin was Gunther, but Baron Corbin's pretty good. He would do anything you asked. He was hella tall. He would beat Kurt Angle at one point. You couldn't find anything for him to do, which is kind of wild to me. And where's Braun Strowman? Is he really hurt? Is he gone? Let me know in the chat if you know. Again, retweet, reshare, let your grandma know about all of this going on. These live streams, these podcasts, best in the business, right, folks? Come on, let's get pumped up over here. Yeah. Thank you, Shotzi. Yeah, and again, I'm gonna have to bring this up about every evening, but Can we deport Dirty Dom at some point, Donald Trump? You are going to be the president, right, in like a month or so. And we would all love it if this is the first guy you sent packing. Okay? Because he's out here with the mustache and the Joe Dirt mullet and the hot girlfriend. Nobody likes that. I like Liv. I think it's funny. He's kind of getting on my nerves. The way he flexes, the way he flips everybody off. I like that, though. But the flexing, he's flexing like he's, an 8-year-old showing off. I don't like it. I know they're going to push him. It's probably what's best for business. But Trump train, whatever you call your people, the MAGA peoples. There you go. Public enemy number one. Right there. Look at that. The new day. I'm not even using my scenes again. Had it all set up. Look at, there's the poop colored outfit I was talking about. I mean, it's kind of weird looking poop color. It's a little too light. The suit did it better, like the pants there. If you're actually watching the show right now. If you're listening, just follow my direction. Theater of the mind, right? Mommy Saurus. The Rock. I'm just showing goofy pictures at this point. But yeah. Gunther's the man, and they shouldn't mess him up. How about that? Breaking news. There was some weird matches too last night. Like one of them being Pete Dunne, don't call him Butch, going up against R-Truth. It was a quick one. They needed enough time to fit everything else in. Again, it's only 2 hours. It made sense. They're kind of finishing up the name angle. He's screaming at the crowd, "You're calling me Butch, you're calling me Butch." And then he gets rolled up by R-Truth, and, the rest is history. So that happened with that. We don't really need any more of it. Hopefully we can move on. We know he's not Butch anymore. He is Pete Dunne. But then again, some of these guys need something to do. And it was well done for what it was. So there's that. The woman IC tourney is happening pretty much the same time the US one is, right? They unveiled both belts like one after the other, and I'm fine with them both having a mid-card belt, but it seems a little weird that they would put them both out at the same time. Maybe so they can run tournaments on both shows. I mean, that's the only reason, but running one after the other would probably make more sense, because then you could brand it and market it to the kids better. And they can go out and buy their women's US belts, right? And all that. I don't know. I'm just saying, you guys probably know better than me, or the almighty TKO and things, but one after the other, stretch it out like you're doing everything else with the stories. I mean, they are getting a little long, some of them, but I don't mind it. I will definitely take it over the old Vince McMahon style, where it was just bang, bang, bang. Every other night, somebody's dealing with something else. And that sucks, because there's no cohesiveness. So, Pete Dunne, you're not Butch. Women's IC tourney's happening. Who won those things? I know Dakota won last night, I believe. And you would think they're going to put one of those belts on Naomi, if not like immediately at some point, because those belts are made for her. Who's more, and it's not even a slight. She's in the business. She's doing well for herself. She's married to Inu, so she's set for life. So she doesn't absolutely need the title, even though she has the best looking title with the LED lights. Maybe she can get one of these mid-card titles, put the LED lights on it, and we can all be happy. Because I mean, when I think women's mid-card, she's like that's the face I see. It's all I think of. Her, I thought Baszler, but apparently she lost last night. Wish they brought back the TV title, huh? There's too many titles. There's already too many titles. Like, Finn Balor hasn't even wrestled with the tag team titles in the past, 30 years. So we're going to just add more titles. AEW's doing that. They've been killing it with I laugh sometimes. I'll put on AEW and it's just like team after team and guy and girl and everybody that comes down that ramp. If you don't have a title, you're probably a jobber. That's how bad it is. It's like, if you don't have a title, you suck.
It's the shits.
And that's not a good way to try to book these things too. Because if I'm thinking that, the kids are definitely thinking that. It's subconscious. You can't have 5 people, literally not even 5 people, with all the tag teams and the 3 teams and all these other things, the different shows they have, the ROH titles. They're cutting the promos. People have titles backstage. They're cutting the in the ring. They got the titles. They're going out in the parking lot. People are walking around with titles. They're going into catering. You know, the people cutting the ham and the roast beef have fucking titles on. It's like, well, this is getting crazy. Too many titles going around, bro. If you know what I mean. WWE isn't as bad, but they might be now with 2 more coming. At least we got rid of the double show tag team thing. What a bad idea that was. Even with a 3-hour show involved between that and SmackDown, having 2, and those titles sucked. You remember those titles?
It's the shits.
Whoa. Red and blue titles. One was, remember when they were bronze before they were even silver? Terrible. They're just awful. The women's mid-card, though, US IC, bring it on. Come on. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, so give us more of that. And once again, if you're not sharing this, if you're not liking this and retweeting, telling your grandma about this podcast, then when I see you, I'm going to slap the shit out of you, okay? It's not a threat, YouTube TOS, in a boxing ring, might I add. I have to do that. I have to say in a boxing ring. So the TOSs don't get me. Don't get me, TOSs. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, I promise. But yeah, I'm going to be live tweeting. Of course, I do that every night. So follow on X. Once again, I'll be on after this, right on the X, eating sandwiches, goofing on whatever I'm seeing on TV. And NXT is one of my favorite shows. So I'm definitely watching that. Tomorrow night, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. And I think possibly I may have a guest on tomorrow. I'm not going to speak too soon. And next Tuesday, we have a guest, and, so on and so forth. We're going to be getting more guests on. So you won't just have to deal with me and gaze and gawk upon none other than, because I love doing shows alone, right? So easy just to fill an hour talking about something that everybody already knows about, right? They think they even know better than you, which they don't. That's why I'm the Dr. Hugeonomics. So make sure you're following me all over the place. Again, threats, right? In a boxing ring. So the man is coming back. I don't know if you guys heard. At least she's coming back to a press conference that happened today. Maybe it did happen. Maybe she didn't. It didn't happen. But Becky Lynch is around. She's the man. She is annoying. And let's boo her. This is me at her press conference when she comes out. This was me in Boston, Massachusetts during a Monday Night Raw when she comes out. She comes out first every single show I go to because we're in Boston, right? And they're like, oh, Irish girl, and she's a good guy, and everybody likes the man, right? Especially in Boston. And I'm like, no. I do the double thumbs down and everything. So yeah, then she comes out, I'm the man, I'm the man. Sucking air. I'm the man. Oh. Okay, everybody, calm down. She's not that bad. She is to me, but she is going to do a whole Netflix press conference. You know, they were really bringing out all the stars. They had Cody and Bianca and, you know, all their greatest hits lined up to be like, and we're coming to Netflix. Whoa. And not that. I mean, it's a huge deal for people like us. I don't know if it's that big of a deal for everybody else. I mean, they are going to catch the eye of a new audience. And who knows, maybe there'll be future Dr. Huge show fans, and I can explain all this scripted wrestling to them as if it's real, because it's real to me. Damn it. Still. I can't believe what you just said, Jimmy Tops. I can't even put it on the screen. They would kick me out of the country if I did that. So, does she still hide her hammer? Wow. That's what he said, folks. Not me, not Dr. Huge. I would never say anything like that. So anyway, the man. Remember when she was in a video game commercial? One of the shitty 2Ks that they've been putting out. And they had the whole men's, like, it didn't even seem like a men. It was a bunch of pro wrestlers in there, the old timers, in this gala event. And then the man comes crashing through the ceiling. Glass everywhere. She starts walking around like dope slapping Harley Race and Hulk Hogan and fucking John Cena and everybody. And, you know, it just disgusted me. I was disgusted with it. Remember that? That's probably what took care of Harley Race in the end. R.I.P. Harley Race, right? It was all Becky Lynch's fault. She came through that glass and it all got in his food and he ate it. And then a couple days later, he her grummed. So I blame that. That's Becky Lynch's fault. And then she probably killed a couple other old wrestlers while she was in there, you know, trying to take their spots. So that's the main reason why I don't like Becky Lynch, other than her obnoxious voice, attitude, and stuff like that. And I don't like the fact that she had a baby and her ass went away. When does that ever happen? You had a baby and your ass went away? Huh? So I don't know. Things are just seeming to get worse because once again, her heat has kind of died off. I know they had the title on her, like right before she left or whatever. She probably left because of injuries and babies and her ass getting too small. But, you know, she's coming back, I'm guessing, some point. And if I'm wrong, then good. Good. Because there's plenty of other asses on screen. We're going to be talking about those tonight as well.
Because you know you like hoes.
Because you know.
And I know that you like hoes.
That's right. But not right now. We got other things to talk about. Like the Ring General. And he's, you know, getting a new contract. We talked about him earlier with the fake stuff. Now we're going to talk about the real stuff. It's all real to me, remember? So nothing's really fake. We don't call it fake, right? We call it scripted because they don't script, you know, twisting their necks off. But new contract, of course he's going to get it. I mean, is there anybody thinking that they're not going to give a new contract to the fucking Ring General? There's no way. They're giving it to him. And word is from some of the top WWE higher-ups, as they call them. I hate that, like, phrase, higher-ups. They said, hey, nobody's more professional than the Ring General. He's one of the most professional that we've worked with. So, congratulations. You have the title. You're being re-signed. And, of course, you're coming back for life, brother. And what happened to Ilya Dragunov? We need a Ilya Dragunov sighting. He probably got injured or whatever, too. But they have way too many guys and people. So they can actually afford to have some of these injuries. Some more injuries. Sheamus being another one. Broke or cracked a rib in that triple threat match with Ludwig Kaiser and Braun Breaker. So it's the shits. That's the shits. You know, I like Sheamus. Always has bangers after bangers. And then we have, what's his name? Bronson Reed. There's too many Braun. We got Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. There we go. So Bronson Reed, like cracked up his ankles, at least one of them, because he was wearing a boot in a video. And I believe I went back and looked at the tape, analyst style. And when he went and jumped off the top rope to land on Roman Reigns through the table where CM Punk pulled him off, it looked like he pulled back, you know, so he wouldn't hit Roman Reigns, because it was very close. CM Punk waited a very long time to finish off that spot to get him out of the way. Usually they seem to do it too quickly. No, CM Punk waited didn't waste a millisecond before pulling him off. So Bronson Reed probably saw this and went, oh, and then tilted back, looked like his legs hit the ground first before even the table, and that's probably what screwed him up. So that's on you, CM Punk. Again, sorry. You could say it's on Reigns, but Reigns is laying there waiting. You know, he's knocked out, unconscious, half a leg on the table. And CM Punk, you're the guy that's supposed to come up. You're supposed to make that block, right? And it's just like football. Like, there's all these moving parts. You were the guy that was supposed to come around and, you know, help the running back get through the hole there from the opposite side. And you did it a little late. So now Bronson's little ankles all twisted up. I'm sure all these guys seem to rush back. I mean, shit. You had Jacob Fat One in there a couple weeks ago. He really messed up his ankle. Everybody knew it a couple months ago. Within a week or two, he's back on TV in a boot. So these guys aren't playing around. They're tough guys. If I broke my ankle or whatever on TV, you wouldn't see me ever again. I would be gone forever. Be like, I can't overcome this ankle injury. And they're back like in 2 weeks. So, hey, that's why they get paid the big bucks, right? And I'm here to criticize it. You should have waited and jumped off later. And CM Punk, you definitely should have got Roman Reigns off the table sooner, you dumbass. Not a vet move. Sorry, I had to take a sip of my grape juice.
What are you laughing at, fuckface? Shut your mouth.
Right, shut up.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
So what else is happening, huh? I mean, I'm telling you guys everything. You guys are going to be experts by the time this hour's up. Here's a story. This is hilarious. This is one of my favorite stories ever lately, because I know a lot of you in my chat, you guys love Jonathan Coachman, right? Do you hold on, let me ask the chat. Do you guys love Jonathan Coachman? Oh my, what? Come on, man. You don't like Jonathan Coachman at all? Really? Well, let me tell you. You know who else doesn't like Jonathan Coachman? Or at least who Jonathan Coachman thinks doesn't like Jonathan Coachman. Nia Jax.
Bullshit!
No, I'm telling you, it's truth.
Bullshit!
Because the story is, Nia Jax hated Jonathan Coachman so much, she campaigned basically to get him out of WWE when he just got back in. So he said a part of the problem was that he was working with a golf channel, some golf thing, and he had to be at events. And he had 5 events to do or whatever. He informed Vince McMahon of this. Of course, Vince doesn't remember because he's like Jekyll and Hyde, from what I've heard everybody say. And one day he's like, "What the hell, pal?" You know, you're not going to be able to, you know, so that's probably the main reason or what set it off. But then Nia Jax is chilling in the cut, laying in the cut, going, I want this Jonathan Coachman out of here because she's jealous. In the words of Jonathan Coachman, she was jealous. She wanted Renee Paquette at the time to have that job. And she got it. She got that job. And then Dean Ambrose married her and had a baby, changed his name to the Moxley family, and then they went to AEW. The rest is history. But for Jonathan Coachman, the history happened well before that. So, yeah, I like what you're saying there. What do you think? Nia Jax versus Jonathan Coachman, WrestleMania 41 in Hell in a Cell?
I have to announce to you,
Rick? What?
that I will never retire.
And Ric Flair, he wants in. So you'll have Ric Flair, Nia Jax, and Jonathan Coachman in
Welcome to hell.
a Hell in a Cell. That's right. Hell in a Cell. That's what should happen. So Nia Jax, you destroy fucking Ric Flair and Coachman. Especially right now. She's in her prime, bro. She would leg drop both of them. She would give the old bonsai splash to Ric Flair and just Ric Flair would die.
Rest.
The Undertaker would have to drive a hearse out to pick Ric Flair's corpse up after Nia Jax just because she doesn't mess around with most of these people. You can tell who she likes because very rarely she doesn't bonsai somebody with all her weight. But Ric Flair, if you get the full Nia Jax bonsai in the state of Ric Flair right now, then you're her grumman, dude. You are so her grumman. Yep, Scott Steiner, special timekeeper. Oh, wow. See, we could write this whole show for him, guys. Come on. Hire the entire Hugenverse, right? WWE. Not just me. Hire everybody. Hire the whole country. Yup. So, I think we got that all figured out, right? Hell in a Cell. I love it. Come on, coach. I mean, what are you doing? Golf shows again? Nobody wants to watch golf, bro. That's boring. Some old man shit, bro. Golf is golf? You were the corniest brother on the planet, dude. Sorry, but it's true. I remember a guy got kicked off of First Take for saying that about RG3. You remember one of Skip Bayless's friends? Skip. He's got a betting site now. What? Dude, if he has a betting site, then he's a scammer, bro. What normal person is going to have a betting site? There's already DraftKings and MGM, like legitimate casinos and stuff that have betting sites. I'm going to use Jonathan Coachman's. What?
Yeah, go take another hairbrush in your ass.
Exactly. What? Is that a true story? I got to look into this. Yeah, I got to look into that. That's wild. So, yeah. Nia Jax hates Coach, which is just a great story. I had to dig for that one. What else we got here? How about this? Roman Reigns doesn't see a need for a grittier Monday Night Raw on Netflix. What?
No yeets.
No yeet on that, bro.
No yeets.
When I read that, I actually got mad. I've been on here preaching, we need a grittier Raw. We need an edgier Raw. You don't have to be coming out there screaming fucking shit and all this stuff like I do, but you can have more serious tones. If you're gonna try to make sense and make all these big stories, and why not have a little bit of like that Sopranos, Breaking Bad type of feel? But Roman Reigns made me feel better towards the end because, well, first of all, he kept pissing me off, and he said, "I can say yeet, yeet, and it gets a pop." So there's no need to even think about it. Can I fit a F-bomb in here? Or, do I have to smoke a cigar in the back or whatever? I get that. And that is what I said as well past couple shows here. And then he said, but laughing, he's like, we're going to raunch it up, though. It's only to be expected if it's going to work. Of course, you don't want just, like I said, raunchiness and vulgarness and all this edgy stuff just for the sake of it. You want it to mean something as well, which is why a lot of the shows that I mentioned before, The Shield, one of the greatest TV shows ever, The Wire, anything, all that stuff, it's because it makes it feel like it's real life. And the more they can make this feel like real life and not just like wrestling matches, of course, they're going to build up to wrestling matches, right? But imagine if they could build it up like an actual boxing match, which a lot of those are rigged anyway, but they still make it seem like it's real. Yeet! So do that. And bring back ring rats. Yeet! Yes, I'm with that too. I mean, I'm sure they're still around. We just don't hear. Everybody's way more discreet with like how everybody knows everybody's got a tracker in their pants that can film everybody. So people are very on point with that, especially celebrities, athletes, pro wrestlers. Because can we really call them athletes? Sure, I do. But these other people out here, the Stephen A. Smiths of the world and stuff, they don't think they're athletes. Not like we know they are, right? Getting their bell rung every night and acting like they didn't. I'm sure it happens. So, but definitely bring back the ring rats because we need them to massage your brains after you get your bell rung in the match. Yep. I can put stars on the chat. Wow. I guess if I wanted to keep track of things, but how would anybody even do that with a chat that moves super fast? Not like mine moves super fast, but again, get retweeting, liking, and all that stuff, and this chat's going to be like cha-chinging. All right, we got some other stuff to go through. We only have about several minutes left, so let's I'll skip a couple of these, and we'll go right to NXT and what's happening tonight, what I'm going to be watching. Carmen Petrovic is going up against Nikita Lyons. This is a storyline match more. It doesn't really nothing else. They're fighting over Adonis. You know Adonis from, you know him. And we got two ninjas going up against each other. We got a Canadian ninja going up against a BBW ghetto ninja. Huh? I mean, Nikita Lyons, and I'm not trying to trash her every week or anything like this. Just giving my opinions here. But it's a weird gimmick. She's like a model / rapper / ninja. And then you got Carmen, who's like a ninja and from Canada. And Hit Row, that's the group with Top Dollar. That's the name I remember. Who would have thought Swerve disappeared? Top Dollar's over in TNA. I heard he's doing well. One of the top bad guys or something or other. I don't know. They're probably trying to pump it up, but cool. I'm with it if it's working. And then BFAP. She was just like, fuck all these guys. I'm going with the Street Profits. And so, yeah. So that's happening tonight. They're going to fight for the honor of Adonis to get that BBC. And then Nikita Lyons is going to start off the match and go, hi-ya, yo. And then Gigi is coming back. Or she did come back last week, but she's actually coming back to wrestle tonight. And if you don't know Gigi, she's around here somewhere.
Just shut up for a while.
No, you're not there.
Donald's a piece of shit.
Nope.
Miocic's a piece of shit.
I'll find her one of these days. Are you over here? Let's try a couple more.
That should have been me.
Definitely not her.
You're not God or my father or my boss.
We'll try one more.
Donald's a piece of shit.
It's the same one.
Miocic's a piece of
It's a
shit.
different page, bro.
Just shut up for a while. How about that?
Oh, okay. No, we're on the same page.
That should have been me.
Wait a second.
You want to taste the tuna?
There she is. I found it. Do you want to taste the tuna?
You want to taste the tuna?
She's coming back. That's Gigi Dolan.
You want to taste the tuna?
Back when she was Priscilla Kelly. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you know, I'm a journalist. I'm an analyst. I'm Dr. Huge, one of the greatest online that ever did it.
You want to taste the tuna?
And I do want to taste the tuna. And I have.
You want to taste the tuna?
So hopefully I don't get Michael Douglas.
You want to taste the tuna?
Older people know what I'm talking about. Gigi, she's back and she's going to take on probably one of the toxic whatevers. But they're hot. They're coming out with the greased boobs and the booty shorts. So keep on keeping on toxic. And Iron Survivor challenges galore. We got a women's one. We got a men's one. I believe it's 4 people. Kalani, Cora Jade, Jada Parker. Or is it 3? It's 3. That's 3 names right there. And one thing about Jada Parker, everybody seems to love her. She got the big old butt and all this stuff. Her fake hair came off one night, which was kind of funny. What's up, Greg? Shout out to Greg. Good to have you back, bro. Don't forget to tell everybody in the world that I'm back, dude. Jack. But yeah, Jada Parker, cool. She's good at this wrestling stuff. Speaking as a fan, I don't like it. I worked with at-risk teens in my day, and she reminds me of many of them. And it's annoying. Not like these teens are bad people, but she's like a bad girl, right? And too much aggressive, manly behavior. The LeBron James thing, you know me and LeBron James, bro. I'm trying to break that LeBron James spell on a whole generation of people. I may have to do a whole podcast on it because there's so much to talk about on how the brainwashing of LeBron James being like a thing is like, it's wild to me. Somebody who's a basketball fan since the 80s. So more to come on that. But Jada Parker, stop the LeBron James stuff. Stop acting so aggressive. And, you know, chill out. You know, you don't need to be like Nikita Lyons over here. What are you, a ninja too? Let me guess. You must be a ninja. So that's happening. Clearly, I would like to have Cora Jade win this. She just came back recently. She's a bad girl. This is to get the North American title, by the way. So if she wins, I would be good with that. Eddie Thorpe assaulted The Rock's daughter last week. I mean, that's how they made it look. Heartbreak Kid, or HB Nose Hairs, as I call him, and who's blocked me on X. Unbelievable. How dare you block me on X? But anyway, he got real physical with this Eddie Thorpe because he must have thought that he threw her on the ground or something. I don't know if he put her in a wrestling move. Probably should have. But whatever he did, he got a spot in tonight's match in the Iron Survivor. And he's taking on here. What are these names? Axiom, Lexus King, and Cedric Alexander. I must be missing somebody in the other match. Ren Sinclair from that group that always holds the trophy there. You know, what's his name's kid? Everything's escaping me right now. We don't have much time left. Let's go. It's 8:00 right now. All right. And then that's happening. And then last but not least, a tag team battle royal. 6 different teams. I'm not naming them. I'm done for the night. I'm checking out until tomorrow. I plan to be back 7 p.m. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Right now, hit all the buttons. Come hang with us tomorrow night. And We're going to do this all over again. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being in the chat. Greg, Jimmy Tops, Jeffrey Cross, all the people on the Twitters and the Twitches and everywhere else. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?